Member for Canberra.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I want to thank those opposite for bringing this matter of public importance today that gives us an opportunity to talk about the first 10 months of the Albanese Labor government. I wish I had more than 5 minutes to talk about the changes that we have delivered and really, the changes for Australians that in 10 months are making such a difference. It's an interesting strategy from those opposite. I don't quite understand it, but I'm happy to speak on it. When I talk to people in my community of Canberra, honestly, there is a palpable sigh of relief, and the number of people who have approached me and just said, we are just so happy with the change of government. And the change of mood in this place, from coming in here just crying out for action on a whole range of issues, on climate change, on aged care, on costs of living, all of these things that are so important to my constituents and all Australians, that this previous government just took absolutely no responsibility for. Absolutely no responsibility. And as the member for Lawler was just saying, that when we see a challenge, we confront it. That is what government is about. We approach things with it, taking responsibility and getting on with the job. So I'd like to talk about just a few of the key achievements in our first 10 months in government. And as I said, I've only got 5 minutes, so I won't get to talk about them all. But in our first 10 months of government, we have established a National Anti-Corruption Commission. Another thing that those opposite failed to deliver, even though they promised to do it. They never even introduced the legislation.
Just give lip service.
We have passed a climate change bill and updated our climate targets, and at the moment are trying to get through this House in a very consultative manner the very important safeguard mechanism, which will begin transitioning our economy to a low emissions economy and getting us to our target of net zero by 2050. We are making childcare cheaper, and in 100 days' time, over 1 million Australian families will be better off with this policy, including so many in Canberra who struggle with some of the highest childcare costs in the country. We have made medicines cheaper. We have introduced legislation to expand paid parental leave. We have secured an increase in the minimum wage and a pay rise for aged care workers, a much-deserved and overdue pay rise. We have passed legislation to get wages moving. We have advanced a voice to Parliament, and this is something I am incredibly proud to be part of a government that is taking this on and getting it done. Today, giving the wording of the question that we will take to a referendum, this incredibly important moment for Australia, an opportunity to walk forward in reconciliation, and something, again, that previous government initially sounded like maybe they were going to do and just shirked it. We established a Royal Commission into robo-debt. We are repairing our international relations. We have created 180,000 new fee-free TAFE places and delivering 20,000 new university places. We have established 10 days paid family and domestic violence leave, one of our first actions in government, because no one should face the choice of their job or their safety. We convened a Jobs and Skills Summit. We established Jobs and Skills Australia. We ended the cashless debit card, expanded the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, delivered the regional first home buyers guarantee. We've made it easier for pensioners to earn more without losing their pension, and acted to take the sting out of energy prices and ensure bill relief. We've green-lighted over $16 billion in renewable energy infrastructure in New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania through Rewiring the Nation. And we have introduced the first cultural policy in a decade, which we didn't even have under the previous government, because they simply just didn't care about the arts and culture in this country, and I'm very proud of that. We just yesterday announced Australia's first endometriosis and pelvic pain GP clinics across the country, including one right here in the ACT, and I was very proud to join the Minister for that announcement. And very importantly, for people of the ACT and the Northern Territory, we allowed the debate on restoring territory rights, something the previous government would not do, and it enabled myself and the member for Solomon to bring a private member's bill and ensure that our constituents have the same democratic rights now as those in the rest of the country. So I am very, very proud of our first 10 months of a government that is making the changes that matter for Australians, as Labor governments always do.
Thank you. And the discussion has now concluded.